Okay, let's hit record. We're almost ready. Hi everyone, welcome to Martini Factory. I'm Kelly Martini, and today I'd like to share with you some of the things I do when I'm painting faces. I'd like to share with you how I finish off the final details so that the faces really come to life. But before I do that, let's go back to the paint sketch and I'll show you how I get started. Okay, so let's take a closer look. We'll start with this one. You can see now that we're a bit closer, it doesn't look like a towel wrapped around someone at all. And what I've done is just block in the darkest parts here, the shadow. This here is actually the neck that's completely in shadow. And if you look at the lips, all I've done is draw the center line and some of those lines going up the top lip and also here in the bottom lip. Very little of the nose, just the nostrils. And here we have just the idea of an eye. Once you go in, really, it's just a splodge of paint. Looking at the second one, this seems to be more defined. It's a profile, so you can pick up a little bit more of the features. But again, once you take a closer look, the ear is just a squiggle. The nose, once you get in close, doesn't look like a nose at all. It's just blobs of paint. And the lips as well, really close up, don't look like lips at all. Neither does the eye, but it's the idea of those features. So when you're standing back from an easel, you're just putting in shapes. And again, with the towel and her hair, really just put in the darkest areas, the black, negative shape painting, and then building in some tones. The other thing I wanted to add was about the amount of paint I use and how particular I am at this stage. If you have a look, the brush strokes are quite messy, it's quite loose, and the amount of paint I've used is quite inconsistent. You can still see the tonal values, the lights and darks, but it's really quite messy. And you know, after all, painting is supposed to be freeing and fun, and this is really me just throwing some paint down. Let's take a closer look again. You've heard me talk a little bit about the idea of an eye or an idea of an ear, the features. The reason why we're able to paint with not so much detail is because as humans, we're used to seeing faces all the time. So we don't actually need all the information. Our brains fill in the gaps of things that aren't there. So here, I don't actually have the eyes, but because we know where eyes generally appear, and because in the paint sketch that I did, I made sure that the measurements were anatomically correct, we make up in our minds that her eyes are there behind her hair. And you can just see just the little bit of a shadow of the eye and the shadow of her hair. So that creates some depth. Then with this one, again, because it's a profile, it's a little bit more defined. We're not dealing with what could look like a flat surface. If you're looking at a face front on, this is the profile. And we can see all of her features. So we can see the mouth, the nose, the eyes, and the ears. And we know from just that small line here, that's the eye and the eyebrow, and because of the shadows, we can tell that she has her eyes closed, and also from the shadows in the neck, we can tell that she's looking upwards. There you have it. That's a little bit about how I paint faces. If you'd like to see more, you can join me on TikTok and Instagram at Martini Factory. And of course, hit the subscribe. This channel's just getting started and I'd love to see you back again. See you soon.